Hey everyone, it's Try here, and going to try something a little bit different today. Let us know if you like this. Going to sort of do a casual, off the cuff. I don't know if behind the scenes is exactly the right word, but sort of maybe behind the editing timeline. Sort of a look at a project mid edit. Working on the 4K TV episode here. This is all about gaming on 4K TVs, whether it's like the modern 4K consoles or playing analog consoles through the OSSC, because you kind of can push it beyond 1080p with the 5x 1200p mode. And also just general considerations for consoles like Switch and PS3 and Xbox 360 and PS TV and stuff like that. You're going to want to play a lot of games on 4K TV, and they aren't necessarily all geared toward outputting to a 4K TV, obviously. So it's just kind of an up to date look at all gaming on modern TVs. So I think it's going to be pretty useful because 4K TVs have kind of become a little bit ubiquitous at this point. Um, but yeah, so I've been working on this, and this is sort of where the timeline stands. It's been so hard to find time to work on this. The reason we want to put this video out right now is because we've been doing a lot of traveling, and I'm behind on editing. I want this to be done as much or more than anyone. Oh, look, it's our good friend John Lenneman. How'd he pop up in here? But yeah, we've been back from Japan for about a week and a half, and Corey's already headed out to the West Coast for some shoots we're going to do out there, and I'm going to be heading out to meet him tomorrow. And it, so all this travel and work obligations, it's just been really hard to find those good big chunks of time to fully dedicate to this. Um, but anyway, so I'm kind of hoping that after getting back, this will be maybe a week-ish more effort, and I can get wrapped up. This section, sort of right around through here, is kind of all about the OSSC, basically. Um, and I'm hoping finishing that part up is not going to be too bad. As you can see, like almost everything up to like this point is a total lock. And then there's scattered stuff done throughout the episode. This section here, this is a Corey section with this blue audio on the track down here. This is a lot about HDR. And then over here is more about what kind of settings you should use on your consoles. This section is very much about the current 4K consoles. And then over here, I believe this section is largely about playing with Switch or PS3, Xbox 360 systems that you can't do 4K on, but limited range, full range, questions like that. And what about how the TV handles upscaling and things like that. In fact, let's see. Here's kind of a look. Here's a look I shot off of our friend Drumble's Vizio, which I actually think is quite a nice looking TV. It's a lot more affordable. I think Vizio makes some good 4K TVs. I've got the OLED here, but you can see a little bit like especially along this edge here. He's got sharpness on set to 0 on the TV, but you can still kind of see some sharpening artifacts, which I don't really see much or any of on mine. So certain TVs are going to have a little bit of a difference in how they present that. Although I feel personally, sitting back at a normal viewing distance, I don't feel like you're going to see like a downgrade with 1080p versus a native screen. I feel like 1080p tends to look very good. I especially like it on the OLED because, you know, you get that true black. The screen technology itself, even though if it's not matching the native resolution, the screen technology itself, I feel, is that much of a jump over. But I still think, more affordable LCD TVs like the Vizios, I still think they look really good. We played some Horizon Zero Dawn on his TV. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's that. I've had this blackboard for 2 or 3 years and had sitting in that closet, and I finally decided to get some command strips and hang it up to try something a little fun for this. I kind of forgot how bad my handwriting. I mean, my handwriting's not great, but I forgot how much worse it gets when writing on a blackboard. Something about writing on a vertical surface is very difficult for me. Let's see. Oh, here we shot a lot of sort of emulation type stuff off of Drum's TV because he likes his emulation. So I thought that would be a good thing to show because, hey, you can output native 4K. That's kind of cool. Yeah, here's some Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, that's with HDR. Obviously, we can't show HDR in this video. I mean, we probably could, but we're just kind of not prepared for that workflow. It definitely adds a lot of messiness and to how things work. But yeah, even these, $600 range 4K TVs like this, I mean, with a full array LED light, I think they still look really good. The HDR doesn't really pop out at you as much as say on the OLED, but it's a good looking TV. I think anyone could do well to get a 4K TV within their budget. Caro Blaster is not 4K, but hey, we're not all talking about 4K games here. I have Caro Blaster on there because I use the music. I really like the music in it. 4K. The TV was expensive enough. I thought I could save money in other ways, like choosing relatively affordable HDMI 2.0 switchers and splitters and settling for a soundbar instead of a 4K ready AV receiver. Yeah, well, that was a mistake. And I kind of go into how, those things were very unreliable. And I thought the solution was to get an AV receiver. And I kind of go into how that's working out for me. We shot this off of Drum's TV. He's got a, what is it called? EVO, an Enix game on the Super Nintendo. It's kind of funny because you eat these jellyfish and then they turn to a hunk of meat right there. But yeah, so like I say, this is probably going to be. I'm hoping about another week of work if things stay quiet in other aspects of my life and I don't have to run off and do something else. We feel kind of bad about it because there's going to be a bit of a gap between episodes. But this is, as you can see, at one point it was like 46 or 47 minutes. I've kind of cut it down a bit. So there's around 45 minutes. It's a substantial episode, no doubt. I want done, like I say, as much as anyone. Here's some Xbox backwards compatibility stuff. This is pretty fun. Corey helped me get some captures here. This is zoomed in, of course, but here you can really see. I feel, obviously the original is a lot more pixelated, but even just jumping from base Xbox One to Xbox One X, I mean, it's a huge jump in clarity. It's really amazing to me, like, all of this detail on the characters that they put that in the game, even though it couldn't really resolve it very clearly. It's pretty cool. This sort of last section before the ending here is about capture cards. And I'm possibly going to get to look at another capture card before finishing the episode, which in some ways might slow me down and in some ways might speed me up. But I'm hoping I can talk a bit about another capture card if I have the opportunity to use it, which could be very promising, not only for capturing 4K and HDR, but it sounds like it might be friendly with the OSSC for the most part. So that is very exciting. But yeah, so I thought this was interesting. Here's the PS TV. Look how my TV, at least, really smooths out the 1080i. You know, on the curves and stuff. It looks much chunkier on 720p. Although you can sort of see the de-interlacing in effect when it's in motion if you look really closely. But I think 1080i output from the PS TV, possibly depending on the game, could really be the way to go. But yeah, we just get into all kinds of little details like that. It might almost be too much, but I really wanted to kind of get this information out there because I had such a struggle with getting my 4K setup going the way I wanted. And you've probably seen it a few times as I've scrubbed through this timeline. There it is, 4K 60 and 18 gigabits per second. That's my best advice to everyone. Whatever you're looking to buy, whether it's a cable, whether it's a switcher or an AV receiver, you need to be looking, especially for this 18 gigabits per second. I mean, if your cables can't do that, if your switcher, receiver, whatever, you're either not going to get anything at all, you're going to lose features like HDR, or you might not be able to use full 4K resolution. You know, you really need this amount of bandwidth to push everything that you'll want to do, or else it could be kind of spotty. So that's kind of one of the big takeaways. But it's just a lot of very, I think, useful advice on what to look for, tips on how to set it up, considerations if you're streaming, splitting the signal, stuff like that. So hopefully everyone finds that interesting. Oh, look, we got a little puppy cameo there. But yeah, so I hope everyone looks forward to this. You know, I think a lot of people who maybe don't like modern games might think, oh, maybe this episode's not for me. But I think you'll be surprised. There's quite a bit of talk about retro games in here. Because, you know, that's really what we're passionate about, as well as the modern stuff. So yeah. So hopefully this was a fun sort of way to take a look at where an episode stands, and I hope you all look forward to it closer to the end of July. And again, so sorry about the wait on the episodes, or the gap between episodes, but I think we're really ramping up. We're working toward getting a place where we're going to be able to release content a lot more efficiently. And you know, obviously these trips we've been taking, we're kind of juggling around 3.5 projects right now, sort of documentary style projects that will be coming out in the second half of the year, you know, alongside our other types of content like this, the RGB stuff. And we're definitely working toward getting in a place where we can release things more efficiently and more quickly. And I feel like this is going to be the last time for a while where something is this big monumental struggle like this episode has been. So thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for your patience. and look forward to what we've got coming in the coming months. Thanks again.